What if a recall isn't about getting people back, but bringing them forward? Hi there, I'm Greg Venning, and welcome to the Questing Chiropractor podcast, where we help you to live your practice life with ease and abundance so that you can change the world one person at a time, do what makes your heart sing, have ordered structure and flow and ease in your life, and make an amazing profit at the same time. Now, today, we're going to reframe the recall, because what most chiropractors see as an awkward admin task of phoning people who've slipped through the gaps is actually one of the most important moments of influence in your practice. When it's done with presence, empathy, and purpose, a recall isn't about chasing people back. It's about inviting them forward. In this enlightening conversation with Nimrod and Eils, they're going to cover three key points that I want you to listen for. One is how to shift the energy. So move from pressure to genuine curiosity and care. Reveal your culture, how every recall reflects whether you run on purpose or on panic. And how to lead as a way shower. Don't rescue people. Remind them of who they want to become. As always, if you find this episode useful, please send it on to a friend or a colleague who can use it and benefit from it. Please leave us up to a 5-star rating on the channel that you're on. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Click the button and leave us comments. We read all of them. Listen on. Welcome to the Questing Chiropractor podcast. We help you grow as visionary, vital, and capable chiropractors who are always on. We do things differently as we help to elegantly awaken your innate wisdom within. We help you create robust, predictable, and trustworthy practices that serve oceans of people and yet still have free time for yourselves and your families. We use neuroscience to deliver better business results so that you can get greater, deeper, and more effective impact in more ways. We are Questing Chiropractors, and this is our story.
Hello, Nimrod.
Hi.
Thanks for having me back. I love our little chats.
I know. It's always super important. You've got so much to contribute and to bring and to help us really improve and develop who we are in practice. So thank you. So jumping straight in, we are discussing a brilliant topic, which is the dreaded, ugly, horrid recalls.
Yes, the thing that everybody hates to do. The chiros and the TAs are like hates recalls.
Don't we all? They're just shocking. Can't we just get rid of them all and never do them again? Actually, I was thinking about this today. I just ran here from practice. I have a mum who we recalled over the last few weeks. It's summer holidays here, so it's a bit difficult sometimes keeping them coming in and answering, and the CAs weren't managing to do it. And then I gave her a quick call, and she was just so grateful. And it turned out that one of her kids had to go into hospital over the last couple of months and had some complications. They're through that period, but in all of that, we just dropped off the radar. And, it was just, we haven't seen her in practice yet, but she was super grateful for touching base. So, they are painful, but they can also have a huge impact, can't they?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's one of the things that whenever you mention it to any CA, no matter what practice they're in, you can see their whole body language shift, the tension and the start to creep in when I'm chatting to the CAs, and I know that it's a challenge for the CAs to get the chiropractors to do those as well.
Yeah, so maybe before we do that and get into CAs keeping us accountable and how that role happens, I think today we're going to look at three things, at why they are dreaded to us, depending on who we are and how we are in practice, but also, maybe a little bit of a perspective shift, a paradigm shift, a way for us to expand our thinking, our belief, our feeling around them. And it'd be good to cover why they matter and how we do them elegantly, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, as you saying, your practice member was grateful when you phoned. You said that they were they were grateful that you had checked in, that you had touched base with them, and just that gentle reminder that you're still there when they're ready to come back, when life isn't too hectic. And often we find that that's what the recalls actually are. It's a reminder for people. You become their accountability partner. They've already made a promise as such to you, as a chiropractor, to you as a practice, that they're going to be doing whatever the care that they have agreed to is, and so you're holding them accountable to that, and you're checking in on them and making sure everything's all right as well.
Yeah, caring as a human being. So before we get into how beautiful they can be, why do we dread them in practices, CAs, chiropractors? Why are they so horrible for us?
So I think that often CAs and chiropractors don't see that the positive side of the recalls. They only see the negative side of it. They feel that you're chasing somebody up. Yeah, you're that person on the other side of the phone wagging your finger to say, you haven't been in. Why haven't you been in?
Yeah.
And often you do come across those people that are just not happy when you phone them for their recalls as well. And that, we know what it's like. That one bad experience often just mars all the good experiences. It overtakes. You could have one negative experience out of 10, but you forget all the other 9, and you only focus on that one negative experience. And so that can influence how you do the rest of your recalls.
Yeah, and there feels like there's such a fear of rejection, and maybe for us, wherever we are in the team, it feels like they're also rejecting the facts that we did some good work. So almost like an evaluation of that chiropractic didn't work, and so they're gonna, in some way or another, communicate that to us when we call them up.
Yeah, we're scared of people saying no to us.
Yeah. So maybe before we uncover a little bit more about what that paradigm shift may look like, I guess let's rewind it. To give the framework. For your perspective, the recall happens when?
So, for us, a recall will happen if somebody, if they haven't made their next appointment, or they've missed an appointment and we haven't been able to contact them, then they get put onto our recalls.
Yeah, so it's someone who's had an agreement to continue care, and they don't have any future appointments, either because they missed the current one or they haven't made any future ones. And so the purpose of it is to call them up and to get them back onto their schedule.
Yeah, to help them to honor that agreement.
Yeah. And when you call it a recall, do you wait a certain amount of time after their last visit, or is that something that can happen even the same day or the next day?
So that depends. It depends on whether they've had appointments before, depends what their schedule of care is, depends on the information they've given us beforehand. Perhaps they were going on holiday, so we're not going to contact them while they're on holiday. Nobody wants a phone call from their chiro. Nobody wants a phone call when they're on holiday. Full stop.
Yeah.
So we have our recall procedure, and it's an if this then that recall procedure. But generally, people will we use Practice Hub. And if somebody doesn't have another appointment, they automatically get put onto the recalls for the next day. And then the next day we would triage the recalls.
Okay.
To see which ones need to get put for that need to get done that day, or that can then be deferred to another day.
Okay. So just staying with the theme of us dreading the recalls, now that we have a bit of a definition of what that is, the recall itself. So we may dread it because we think, well, someone doesn't have any future appointments, and so maybe they just don't want to continue being part of our practice. Maybe they're rejecting us in some way, or maybe there's something that they're going to say that I'm going to feel a little bit vulnerable about, or maybe shameful of, even something that in some way reflects that they just don't respect me or love me as much as I thought that they would in some energetic level. Would that kind of capture that dready feeling that we may have, either CAs or chiropractors?
Yeah, absolutely. Just not wanting to be rejected, not wanting anybody to tell us that we haven't done something right, or that they haven't felt that they belonged where we are, or that they needed what we had to offer.
Yeah. Yep. So the stories we start telling ourselves are they're no longer coming in, or they don't have any future appointments because they're rejecting us, because they've evaluated us as not worthy, as not worthwhile, as not of value. Those stories running in our head.
Those internal dialogues, and we always beat ourselves up with those.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to capture that one, if you have, for example, a CA who maybe hasn't done many recalls, so doesn't have the experience of the positive ones, and you know that they're starting with these internal stories and belief systems around that, what's a little tactic you would suggest to be able to flip that switch, that belief system that's happening?
So I think realizing that it's not me, it's you.
What do you mean by that?
I think that's
Can you unpack that?
a good way to look at it and to reframe it. It's not all about me. It's all about them. So that you have all these things that about you being rejected and you not being the right person, but actually we don't know what that other person's thinking. We don't know what's going on in that other person's life. And so taking a step back from the selfishness of the recalls.
Make it self-centered, don't we?
Yeah, and trying and thinking about the other person. It's about them. It's about their care.
Yeah.
It's about what's going on in their life, not what's going on in your life and your head.
Yeah. Beautiful. So I'm curious, Els, with all the experience you have as a CA and working with teams in various ways, if you do come across someone with, say, a belief system of, oh, I'm too scared to do them, I'm dreading them because they're going to reject me or us in some sort of way, and my internal belief story that I'm running is that I am fearful of rejection, of feeling not worthy, of not feeling not valued. What do you do with the belief system itself? Do you do anything? Do you have any tactics or practices that actually help the person bring on a new belief, a new story, a more worthy line that they're telling themselves?
I think we really just go into the purpose of their care. The purpose behind their care and why they're coming to see us, and they've made and just realizing that they have made this agreement. They've said yes, that they want this.
Yeah.
Now they may have changed their mind, but we'll never know that until we contact them and ask them, have you changed your mind? Has our agreement changed?
Yep.
And the biggest thing is realizing that it is all about them.
Yeah. So I think, some of the stuff we do with Quest, we do acknowledge very much. So we have these stories and beliefs that we're all playing within our heads all the time. And there's some useful ways to look at those, to encounter those, and to reimagine them as something else. And so, as an example with this, if we're dreading contacting someone, then maybe first look at that belief that's running in your head and work on that. But what you're suggesting is to look at, well, what does that paradigm shift look like? What does that perspective shift look like? What would happen if we look at recalls in a different way?
Yeah.
So your suggestion is then to move it off the attention off me and onto the attention of the other person.
Yes. Reminding them, yes. Reminding yourself that that person's made that commitment. They've made that agreement.
Yep.
You're not cold calling them. Yeah, you're not a salesperson cold calling somebody. You already have a relationship with that person.
Yeah, you use the word sales there. Are we calling to sell them?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. They're already in. They've already said yes. We're not bothering them. We're showing them that we care.
Yeah.
No, if you haven't heard from a friend in a while, then you phone them up and say, "Hey, how you doing? Is everything all right? Haven't heard from you in a while."
Yeah.
We said we would go and get coffee at some point. We haven't gone and we haven't done that, and we really need to make time to do that and to catch up.
Yeah.
So it's treating the practice members more like family and friends.
Yep. So I love that you use the word care, and you're showing, even in your tone and intention there, a lot of dignity and respect and compassion for them. Maybe we should rename them from recall to we care. But
compassion calls.
Compassion calls. So you say that we care. What is it that we are caring about as an intention when we call them up?
Their goals, their agreements, their commitments that they've made. They've said that they want to get to a certain point in their health, on their health journey. They've decided that this is how they want to do it. And we've made an agreement. They've made an agreement with the chiropractor. And so we're just saying to them, hey, this is where you said you wanted to get to. And if you've missed an appointment, we haven't seen you, do you still want to get there? Checking in with them, finding out if something else is going on in their life. Have they been thrown a curveball? Like your practice member that had a lot going on with their children. Then sometimes these things happen in life, and priorities shift. Needs shift. Sometimes life's just so busy you forget. Like I was talking to a friend this afternoon and saying that we were arranging a play date for our children, and there was several times last week she meant to speak to me, and then something happened and got in the way and we didn't chat to each other. And then so many times over the weekend I started to send a message to her and then got distracted and we never sent a message. And eventually the children organised their own play date and
just cut the middle person out.
They sorted it out between them.
But
life can get in the way, and so just making sure that we're all still on the same page, and do we still want to go ahead? Do we still want this to happen?
I think that's such a great energy to it of, we care about the goals that you originally set out with us and the plan we designed in order to best help you most probably get to those goals over a specific amount of time. And we just really want to know, is that still valid? Is that still true for you? And, can we help you stay accountable to that? So it brings up a really interesting topic for me, which is, what role do we play in them achieving these objectives and their goals, in terms of their body, their health, their mind, their life, all of the effects that it has? Are we in a way, I guess we could be like the tribal chief saying, this is what you have to do, or, like that sort of really dictatorial parent sort of thing, which is one way to do it, right? And it's like my way or highway sort of feeling about the recalls, which could have an effect, have positive impact, maybe, to get some people in. And maybe another way to look at it is, are we there more like a loving teacher, who's helping guide in a certain direction, which, is a certain level up, and maybe a level above that is more like a coach. We're sitting with you. We know what it takes. We've got experience in this. We know what it means to do the work to get this done. And then maybe, the next level above that, if we're looking at this through the innate model quadrants, would be the facilitator, the one who, lights the spark and inspires inside, but is more just a gentle guide rather than, like a sports coach sort of thing. So I guess all 4 levels would have a different way of looking at recalls, right?
Yeah. And the outcome is often gratitude.
Mm.
The person on the other side of the phone is often grateful that you phoned them as a reminder. Like we said there's the one time out of 10 where the person gets pissed off with you and like, oh, you keep phoning me, and hangs up on you, or whatever the case may be, or I just don't want to come back, or whatever. But 9 times out of 10, you get people who are like, oh, thank you so much for phoning. I've been meaning to phone. Oh, thank you for the reminder. Or while we're on the phone, let's make that appointment, and let's just book up for the next however many weeks so that this doesn't happen again. So yeah, as I say, most of the time people are so grateful that you have phoned them with that reminder. And I mean, there are some people that do need you to be, as you said, they do need you to be the waggy finger.
The tribal chief saying, this is the way we do it here. Yeah.
You need you to play. Some people need you to play mum. Some people need you to hold their hand through it. And you're there to do that for them if they need that. But without, there still needs to be some accountability from them. So you're not there to phone them every time, 20 minutes before their appointment, every time they've got an appointment, to remind them that they've got an appointment. You're just there to let them know when they forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's looking at quite a different topic. Let's not get distracted by that one, because I know there may be some chiropractors and teams that do work like that. We're talking about, getting people back on schedule. And I love that you threw in some really nice procedures, which is, hey, let's book up a quantity of future appointments, not just one here at this point. Just a quick little detour. We covered those 4 different styles, maybe, of relationships between the chiropractor, the team, and the person. At some level, they're a patient. At some level, they're a human being. And we can have all of those people within our practice, right? Some that need the tribal chief, some that need the teacher, some more the coach, some more the facilitator. So if CAs are looking at the people they need to recall or would love to recall, what would be a quick way what would be some patterns maybe that they would be able to see, this person needs like a firm hand, or this person needs more like a, light the fire from within sort of feeling?
Yeah, I think that depends on so for each person, I would be looking at how many visits they've missed previously, how many times we've had to recall them previously, whether they continue to put off their appointments, reschedule. So I would be looking at all of that information and getting a full picture before I even start on the recall. I'm looking to see what all the communications have been with us in the past.
Yep.
And that will tell me whether that person is just going to be a quick phone call and a quick, hey, you've not got anything booked this week, or if it's going to be it's going to be like pulling teeth.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. Or, more needs like, hey, just reminding you we're doing this again, or like, hey, you promised to come in and you haven't, and this is your part of the deal. Quite a different
Yeah.
tone and intention there, right?
Yes, exactly. I mean, I don't know how many people I have on the recalls that they're like, cool, I'll see you next month. Don't know what my diary's doing next month. And it's like, hey, this is your monthly
Mm-hmm.
accountability call.
Yeah,
And that's
that's
exactly
right.
how I do it. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. We're reminding you through the recall, as we said, with a lot of compassion and care.
Yeah.
So, there's different ways, different nuances in there, and that all comes into shifting our paradigm about reminding them, keeping them on track with their goals and the plan that was agreed with the practice in general, and the time frame over which that would be playing out. And then also the way that we in our practice know this is the best way to achieve those goals. Through our experience, we know this is what works. So here we are with the agreement of the frequency and duration and all of those sorts of things. It also makes me think that there's some things in there about that perspective shift, that paradigm shift, that are really about the energy that we bring to the recall itself. And sometimes I think that those recall phone calls are actually done to clear out some bad energy from the practice, to be able to close some files, or be done with someone and the relationship there. How do you see that?
Yeah. There's some of the chiros that I've worked with have been really, really low to do like almost like a file closure phone call, because they know that that person doesn't want to. They've hinted for a while that they wanted to stop care, or if it's from the first visit or two, it's like, okay, we didn't have clear agreement, or I know this is, and I just don't want to make that call, and they put it off and put it off and put it off, and then eventually they get to a point where they put it off for so long that then making that phone call is going to be a bit weird.
Yeah.
And so it's a kindness to all of us if we close that communication loop.
Yeah.
We've whether we don't want to keep going on, and if it gets to that point where we put it off for so long that we end up not contacting them, we're going to in our mind be like, I wonder what happened to them, I wonder why. And they're going to be like, oh, they never followed up with me, they didn't care.
Wow, they didn't care. Yeah, that's quite impactful.
Yeah, I saw something recently, and it was somebody that had gone in for an operation. And they said that the doctor had said to me the whole way leading up to it that they would be there with me, holding my hand, and they would talk me through it all the whole way. And as soon as I had my op, that was it. No more contact.
Yeah.
I just feel like they didn't care. They didn't care about me. Their job was done, and they dropped me.
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of it as well. If we don't follow up, what message does that send?
Yeah, I guess this really touches on in which way could the recalls be tied in to the values of your practice to be better delivering on those values. So just before we do move on to this and why they really do matter, just to close this bit about changing our perspectives on recalls, our paradigms, the way we're thinking about it. We've talked about different tactics, which is really tying into our role to help this person achieve their goals with the agreement that they have with us. Would that be the bottom line of this tactic, this strategy around changing our way of thinking about?
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree with that.
And you put in some really beautiful things about looking at their file, understanding who they are, reminding ourselves of what those goals are, the time frame, the frequency, all of those sorts of things. And that we do have different people who may have different ways for us to express our care. But the bottom line is that by doing this recall, this we care call, this compassion call, we are really reflecting to them, we do care about you and you're important to us. And sometimes part of that is, realizing, clarifying that for now, this relationship is just on hold. So we energetically close that file.
Yeah. And then that leaves space and energy for other people to
Many others.
to come through.
Yeah. Beautiful. So the last bit that we said we'd talk about is, at the end, why do they matter, Els? These calls, these recalls.
The calls matter because the people matter.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And their chiropractic care matters for them.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes me feel like the way we actually set up and co-create the relationship from the very first moment is the way that we do the recalls. They're kind of, that's where the recall starts,
Yeah.
What are we actually promising and offering as part of our service?
Yes.
Amazing. And as we said, it's a reflection of the values of our practice. So maybe, as a bit of a strategy, go to your values, go to your statement of purpose, go to your mission, and see what that says about doing recalls.
Yeah, absolutely. The recalls, everything that you do in your practice, bring it back to your values, your beliefs, your purpose. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful. I just want to touch on a couple of related things. So you said, and I can't put it better, that the recalls matter because the human being matters, the person matters. So if we don't do them or don't do them well, what does it say about our relationship with them, and what does it say about trust?
Yeah, it tells them that they don't matter. It tells them that they're just another person that's come past us, and that they don't matter.
Yeah, it makes it transactional, doesn't it? It's like one in, one out.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the phrase I was looking for. It's a transactional interaction. Absolutely.
Yeah, not a compassionate human one.
Yeah.
And so by doing them, we're actually showing trust and really exemplifying it and practicing it and creating more of it with ourselves, with our team, with our people who may continue or may not continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And one last curveball to you. We're now already in the age of AI, and I'm sure it won't be long before there's people offering AIs to do our recalls for us. For those who aren't watching the video, you just missed a fantastic expression on Elle's face. Can you capture that expression in words, Els, for people who are listening to this?
Some people might resonate with that. We are, while we like to do high tech, we also like to do high touch. And even recently, we've had people in our practice, we've been rolling out a practice app where people have been able to make their own appointments if they want to, or just to track their appointments. They don't even need to make or change their appointments on the app. But it's also been a way for us to roll out some of their home care and exercises and whatever else that they need. And we've had a few people come back and say, I don't want to do that. I don't want you to take away my interaction with you. I want to speak to a human. I want to connect with another human. So as much as we are advancing with all this technology, people still want and need that human connection. as human beings, that's like we thrive on that human connection. And if we slowly start taking that away, then are we thriving?
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautifully said. And, remember the point of the recall is to help the other human being remember that they are loved and important and matter. It's a great opportunity for demonstrating compassion and empathy and kindness and love. And sure, some of this can be mechanized without a doubt to help us. And maybe again, come back to what it is that you truly can provide through the beautiful chiropractic practice that we do have.
Yeah. And again, that comes back to your values.
It does indeed. So, Els, as we round this up, what would be 3 action steps for people to take if they would like to be better at elegantly recalling, reminding, compassionate calls of helping to show how we care?
Remembering that you are not bothering people. It's accountability. It's about care. It's about leadership.
Mm.
If you're not doing them, then people aren't getting the care that they need. So not allowing people to slip through the cracks. And that's for them. It's not for you. It's for them. And then it's all about supporting somebody through what they've already agreed upon and already said was important to them.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Does that,
yeah, I think that's really
cover
that's
it, I think?
great. I think so. Get onto that, onto your beliefs and perspectives around this, onto not making it about you, but making it about them, as you said. And if you need some help with this, some resources with this, we mentioned, the stuff around beliefs. I know that you and Mark just finished a training around expectations, and that's really relevant here. And we have a lot around trust and communication and values, and not only your practice's values, but also the person, doing this by agreement the whole way through means that that you're helping them explore their values and how to agree on a plan that helps uncover this.
Yeah. And in our Super CA training that we have for CAs, we have a whole module on recalls as well.
Nice. Nice. Fantastic. Well, thank you, Els. And thank you for reminding us that they care and that they matter and that we care for them.
Thank you, Nimrod.
Thanks. Speak to you soon.